Welcome to the course on dynamics of machinery, unit number 6, introduction to the noise. So we have talked about the few basics about the sound and its units. Now we are talking about the frequency range of different sound sources. So this diagram itself is a self-explanatory, so you will come to know the sound frequency which will be generated by a musical instrument will lie in this range. Okay, means maybe from 200 to around 9 to 8000 hertz frequency. When you are going to work on some instruments in the workshops doing welding, so this is the range of sound that is generated by the welding, doing some carpentry work, or when a particular vehicle is moving on a road, so the range of frequency with which it is producing the sound frequency, or if there is a boat moving in a sea, so the range of frequency which it is producing, and also lathe machine which generally works in workshops, so the range of frequency which will be generated by the sound of that lathe machine is in this range. Similarly, the human ear and other animals which can listen to the sound frequency of different range. So we can listen from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So this is the range of human being. While for the bat, it hears the range higher than the human being. Okay, and for the dogs, it is hearing from 300 around hertz to more than 30,000 hertz. This is the range of the frequency which a dog can hear. So now we will see how we can make the addition of sound levels. So this is a simple rule over here, that suppose there are two sources which are producing a sound level of 63 decibels. So there are, I consider there are two machines in a room. Okay, so they are producing 63 decibel. It means if I see the difference of these two, so the difference is 0, okay, over there, or maybe 1. Okay, so if the difference between L1 and L2 in sound pressure levels produced by the two sources, if it is 0 or 1, in that case you have to add the 3 decibel into the L1. So if I consider this as a L1, okay, and this as a L2, so both these are having 63, and the difference is 0. So I have to just add 3 decibel into this. So actually the total sound pressure level produced by that two sources will be 66 decibel, but it is not a direct addition of the 63 plus 63, but it is 63 plus 3 decibel, that is 66 decibel. Similarly, now if there are two machines having 66 decibel again, so like this, the difference of these two will be again 0, so plus 3 means 69 decibel will be there. Okay, again if I consider 69 and 69 decibel, two sources are there like this, so it will be again 72 decibel this way. Okay, and if there is a 52 over here and 72 over here, now what is the level of that? So when you check the value of this 57 and 72, the difference between these two is very large, so it may be more than 9 or more than that. So in that case you have to add only 0 decibel to that. So there is no addition required, because this itself is a very high pressure level of the sound, so 72 decibel will be there. So this is what is the rough rule used for addition of the sound pressure levels. So if the difference between the two levels available over there is 2 or 3, in that case you have to add the 2 decibel. And if the difference between the two numbers or the two sources is, suppose one is 64, okay, and another is 68, like this, if there are two sources which are producing this, so difference of these two is nothing but the 4, so you have to just add 1 decibel. Okay, so it will be 65 decibel over there, because difference of this is 4, and 4 to 8 range if it is there, so you have to just add 1 decibel into this, so it becomes 65 decibel by using these two. Okay, or in precise calculation, suppose if you have to calculate exact the value of the sound pressure level, so in that case the sound pressure level, or by the addition of it, so it will be 10 log to the base 10 of sum of n equal to 1 to n 10 raised to power LPN, okay, means sound pressure level of first, n equal to 1 over here, divided by 10, bracket complete, this much decibel. So let us take example. Suppose we have LP1, okay, as 90 decibel, LP2 as 95 decibel, and LP3 as 88 decibel. It means there are three different machines. Suppose one is a lathe machine, is producing this 90, another is a drilling machine, and third is a milling machine in a particular workshop. So three different sound pressure levels are produced by these three machines. Now we have to tell me, or we have to find out the total sound pressure level in that particular workshop with the help of because of these three different machines. So LP will be equal to 10 log to the base 10 of 10 raised to power, okay, LP1 by 10, LP2 by 10, and plus 10 raised to power LP3 by 10. So LP1 means 90, I have to put over here. So 90 by 10, it will be 9. So 10 raised to power 9 plus 10 raised to power 95 by 10, so 9.5 plus 10 raised to power 8.8. Okay, and then if I take the log of this sum and multiply it by 10, it will be 96.80 decibels. So this is the exact value of the sound pressure level by the three different machines. Similarly, we can have the subtraction of the sound levels. So suppose there is certain sound pressure level over there in a particular workshop, and suppose if you are removing some machine from it, so how much sound pressure level will be there in that room after removing that machine from it? That is suppose you have to check. So simply LP will be equal to LP1 minus LP2. Okay. So if LP1 is 90 and LP2 is 86, so subtraction how to be done for this? So it will be LP is equal to 10 log to the base 10 of 10 raised to power LP1 by 10 minus 10 raised to power LP2 by 10 decibels. So here LP1 I am going to put it as 90 and here LP2 as 86. So it will be 87.79 decibel. So there is no direct subtraction over here, but you have to use this equation to find out the sound pressure level when you are removing the one of the source from the number of available sources from that. So this is what is the sound pressure level that you will get by the subtraction of the two sound pressure levels. Now in this particular diagram it is shown that the speed of the sound is 344 meter per second. So your sound will travel through a particular path. So it is having certain wavelength, okay, and that wavelength can be marked in terms of meters. So whenever there is a one cycle actually it is in completing, so it starts from this peak point and again same peak point will reach. So that distance is actually called as a wavelength. Okay. So now what is the relationship between the wavelength and the frequency? So you will find out that the wavelength is equal to C by F, where C is the velocity of the sound. So here you have marked here, C is the speed of the sound or the velocity of the sound, and lambda is nothing but the wavelength, and F is nothing but the frequency. So this is nothing but a relationship between the lambda, C and F. Okay. So here you can see the scale is shown. So here there is a frequency on this axis, here there is a wavelength over there. So now we will try to represent the different waveforms and their frequencies. Suppose if you show one of the waveform in time domain, so this is nothing but the value of the amplitude that will be increasing and it becomes 0. So sinusoidal variation of this is there. So this particular will be represented by a particular value of LP on the y-axis and the frequency corresponding to it. So it will be having a particular frequency. So this is nothing but, you can call it as a time waveform, and this is called as frequency spectrum. So you are going to represent this sound in terms of time domain here, and here you are representing the sound in terms of frequency domain. So you will find out the particular value of the frequency of this particular sound, and it is represented by its amplitude and frequency like this. Similarly, now this particular is a sound with a higher frequency. Amplitude is less, but the frequency is higher. So here you can see that this is the higher frequency compared to this frequency. So this depends on the times. It means when for completing one cycle, if your time period is less, so frequency is high. So this is the time period for this. Okay, this is less, and in this case the time period is high, so frequency is low. So this is the time period. Okay, so it is high time period, low frequency, low time period, high frequency. Similarly, there can be so many number of addition of the different sounds. So different sine waves can be added. So like this, these two sine waves, if I add, I will be getting two different values of these frequencies, low frequency and high frequency, which is contained in this particular signal. So in actual case, the signals will be having so many different frequencies of the sound, and so many amplitudes are clubbed together. So for example, if you see here, this is a gear pair, this is pinion and gear rotating over here, and from this gear the power is transferred to this gear. So this way, if the power transmission is there, so these gears are meshing with each other, and whenever it is going to mesh, every time the teeth will be making a contact with another teeth, it is going to produce certain sound, and that sound will be recorded in terms of time domain, so it will be represented in this way. Okay, and the same if we are to convert into a frequency domain, so you will find out that this is nothing but the frequency domain representation of that particular sound pressure from the gearbox. So this is nothing but the gear mesh frequency. This is called as gear mesh frequency. So whenever the gears are going to mesh, every time that particular sound level and of that particular frequency will be obtained. So whatever may be the meshing will be occurring over here between the pinion and the gear, so that is going to cause a certain value of the mesh frequency and its amplitude. Okay, so here it is having low frequency, then this higher frequency, again then higher frequency. So these are nothing but the harmonics of that mesh frequency. So this is first harmonic, second harmonic, and third harmonics of that mesh frequency, and these are nothing but called as the side bands. Okay, so these side bands frequencies will be occurring at a distance of shaft frequency from the gear mesh frequency, because shaft is there and the gear is mounted over this particular shaft. So shaft frequency will be there in terms of hertz, and also mesh frequency there will be in terms of hertz. So this is mesh frequency, and these sideband frequencies will be occurring at a distance of that shaft frequency from this. Okay, so this is what, so many different frequencies are there in it. So this way it will be represented. Now sometimes if it is raining, so because of rain, whatever the time domain signal that you will collect or the noise, so that has to be converted into a frequency domain. So you will find out that there are so many different peaks of the, and that is from low frequency to high frequency sounds, all these different sounds are being occurring over there. Similarly, if you are going to make any impact by using a hammer, so it is just transient response, so for some time it will be there. So it is also going to excite the different range of frequencies. So these are the different range of frequencies which will be excited by that particular impact hammer. So from low frequency to high frequency, so many sounds will be created over there, and its amplitude will also go on decreasing. Okay, so now when you are going to make the analysis of this collected sounds in the time domain or in the frequency domain, so actually you are going to make use of certain filters. So you have to filter the sounds. So here you can see that the sound filters are used. Okay, and this is the diagrammatic representation of that. So sometimes whatever the sounds that we do not require, okay, that we generally consider as a noise. And now in case of again sound, the sound produced by particular elements of the or the particular components of the machine, that is important to us, because we can do some certain repair and maintenance of those components, so that the sound level of that component can be reduced. So in that case we want the output to be in a particular form. Now you will get from the, suppose from one signal like this, you will get so many frequencies like this over here. So whatever the frequencies of our interest is there, so lower frequencies we want to filter out, and higher frequencies also we wanted to filter out. We are interested only in this particular range, so according to that we have to use the band pass filter. So accordingly that band pass filter will be giving you this kind of output. So these are there are different kinds of bands used for doing the analysis of it. So one is the octave band. So an octave band is a frequency band with upper and lower cutoff frequencies having a ratio of 2. And when the upper frequency and lower frequency, and if their ratio is 2, so that is called as an octave band. And the cutoff frequencies of suppose 705 Hz and 1410 Hz define an octave band, whose band center frequency is 1000 Hz and would be referred to as the 1000 octave band. So just I am going to show in the form of diagram that this is 1000 frequency. Okay, this is 1410 Hz, on the right hand side, and on the left hand side is 705. So if you see the ratio of this 1410 divided by 705, so the ratio is 2, and this is its center frequency, and therefore this is called as a 1/1 octave of 1000 Hertz. Now for this, suppose if you have to get the 1/3 octave band of this, let us first of all discuss this only, that 1/1 octave band here. So F2 means this is F2, this is F1, lower frequency, upper frequency. So F2 will be equal to 2 times of F1. This is the rule for it. And the band V, or the width of this particular band, will be equal to 0.7 multiplied by F0. That means 70%, over which it will be spread, this particular band. Now 1/3 octave band means what? That F1 means lower frequency and upper frequency. So this F2 will be equal to cubic root of 2 multiplied by F1. That means around 1.252 times F1. So here in this case, this is the relationship to get that, means F2 is equal to 1.25 times F1, where in this case it was 2, and B will be equal to 0.23 multiplied by F0. So it's your center frequency, what is there, multiplied by 0.23, 23% of that is nothing but the band of this. So this is nothing but called as 1/3 octave band. Okay, so now this if I take 3 octave bands of 1/3 type, so it becomes a 1/1 octave band. It means if this is my center frequency, and this is my 1/3 of 1/1/3 octave here. Okay, now similarly I will take one more 1/3 octave over here, and one more octave 1/3 octave over here. So it will be total 1/1 octave band. Automatically this will be your lower frequency which was considered previously, and this will be that higher frequency. This is nothing but the 1/1 octave band of 1000. So the noise produced by most sources of community noise, such as automobiles or aircraft engines, so they are nothing but the examples of periodic sounds. So such sounds cannot be subdivided into sets of harmonically related pure tones, but can be described in terms of components extending over finite frequency bands. So such frequency analyses are often done in bands of octave or 1/3 octaves. Okay, so you can see one more diagram here. In this case you will find out that so many different peaks are there and different frequencies are there. So now we have to put, or you have to consider this particular into a particular octave band, so for doing some analysis. So now you can see here, this is 1/1 octave here, 1/1 octave. So whatever is the range of this particular frequency is there, in that case it is being marked 1/1 octave. While 1/3 octave means again it is having small range of that width. So this is nothing but the 1/3 octave. So accordingly then it will be useful for doing the further analysis. That means you can find out that what may be the reason because of which this kind of trend of the vibration is coming, and then it will be helpful for us to make the corrective measures and reduce the noise level from the machines. So in the next presentation we are going to talk about these frequency analyzers and what are the different types of these available. So okay, we'll just stop over here. So thank you very much.